Hi guys, it's Katie. Welcome to my very first video. I'm really excited to be doing this, although I am a little bit nervous, so bear with me as my nerves settle. I am always researching stuff to learn how to help people to relax with massage, with yoga, with self-care techniques, and I just want to learn more. And I stumbled upon something late last year that completely blew my mind, and I wanted to research it more before I shared it with everybody, and I really got excited about it that I thought this might be the best way. So here goes. Did you know that there is a personality trait that may make one more susceptible to anxiety? I had no idea. And so when I stumbled upon this, it blew my mind. And this personality trait is in 20% of the population. 20%. That's a lot of people. It's equal between men and women. It is also hereditary, so you are born with it. One or both your parents may have this trait. And as I said, 20% of the population, and hardly anybody knows about it. It's called sensory processing sensitivity. And what that is, it's a biological difference in your nervous system and how you process information. Bottom line, that's it. So how does that happen? Well, it's through your senses, your external stimulation through your senses, and the cognitive processing center and trigger to your emotions. And what happens is your senses are heightened or more sensitive, and they're not all, there's varying degrees. But what that does is it triggers this sort of automatic reaction in the body. And you get easily overwhelmed. You get easily overstimulated. Bottom line is you process your world on a much deeper scale. That's what sensitivity means. You process deeply. So sensory processing sensitivity, or you're called a highly sensitive person or an HSP. Not my idea for a term, but that's what they call it. So here it goes. Let me ask you a few questions and see if any of these may resonate with you. Bright lights, loud noises, or strong smells really bother you. You pick up on other people's emotions and feelings, and you're very intuitive to the point where it kind of maybe even freaks people out, or even yourself. You may overwhelm easily, maybe even startle easily. Were you called as a child, were you called sensitive or shy? Do deadlines kind of freak you out, especially if you're given a lot of stuff to do in a very short amount of time? Do you get easily overwhelmed? Do you not like change, especially rapid change? People asking you to make decisions really quickly? And you like to spend a lot of time alone? Yeah, probably. Well, those are some of the questions that you're going to be asked through a self-test that is from the researchers, their website. I'll put a link, that discovered that this trait existed back in the early 90s. Dr. Elaine Aron, she's well known for this, and her husband Art. She has the trait, he does not, and they have this self-test you can take. It's about 27 questions, and it could give you maybe an accurate or semi-accurate reading on maybe you have this trait or not. I will let you know that I took this test and discovered I'm an HSP. I have this trait, and I was not expecting that. I will say I laughed out loud when I first got the score. I then sat there almost stunned, and then I processed like we do, and then I let it sink in and went, yay! I'm so excited. This actually makes sense. My life now makes sense. Why I react the way I do, why I can't change the way I react to certain things, why I like or dislike, sometimes vehemently, certain things. I was definitely a shy kid in new situations. I was definitely moody, definitely. And it just made sense. And I have these senses that are really heightened, that have been a problem in my life for many years. So I took it as a sign of relief. I thought it was awesome, and I'm really happy that I stumbled upon this. So what happens though? HSPs, myself included, we have a tendency to go into sympathetic mode more often because of our nervous system and the way it reacts to the world. And I talk about this all the time. The sympathetic mode is not healthy to be in constantly. If you're already stressed, and all of us are stressed these days, we are even more stressed physically. And that causes a lot of problems because of cortisol production. I talk about this also as a lot. Constant cortisol production creates a problem with your body. It creates inflammation. It creates the muscle tension, the stomach issues, the headaches, the sleeping issues, and all this stuff, if they go unchecked, can get worse. And HSPs, another little trait, we worry. We worry a lot. We overthink everything because we like to process things differently and deeply. And so we process everything deeply. And so we worry, and then we don't get enough sleep, and then we are overstimulated the next day, and then we start to worry, and the worrying leads to anxiety. And anxiety can lead to an anxiety disorder, and you see where I'm going here. This is why we are more susceptible to anxiety. But there's something you can do about it. First, if you take the test, welcome to the club. If you find out you're an HSP, awesome. It's an awesome club. Trust me, I've got some good parts I want to talk about. But there's some easy things to do. Take a break. Self-care. It's really that easy. Adopt self-care routines. Take a walk. Take a bath. Take a tea, or coffee may not be the best thing because some of us are, not me, affected a lot by caffeine. But take a break from your environment that's overstimulating you. And you may not even realizing it's your environment, but deep down you know that something's triggering you and you just need to walk away. But self-care, there's so many things you can do, and that's another reason why I'm here. I love helping people. I love helping relax people. I do it through massage and yoga and self-care lessons. And I've had a lot of people lately. I'm starting to do workshops, and I do self-care lessons here in my office. But I've had a lot of people ask me about wanting me to help them relax. Now, obviously, I can't do massage everywhere, but everything else I can do one-on-one or a couple online. So I'm launching two things. One, very shortly, I'm going to be loading up some videos on my website for self-care tips and techniques that you can do or try and see if they help you. And also, you and I now can work together no matter where you live. I can help. I can help teach you some things. If you're an HSP, let me know and what your sensitivities are, and I might be able to help you navigate to some self-care routines that will be beneficial for you and your life and your lifestyle. But again, we can do this live through FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, whatever is your means. Let me help. It really is important to have self-care routine. I'm going to tell you, they recommend 1 day a week, which is difficult, of complete, like, taking a break. So they also recommend 1 to 2 hours a day as well of just taking a break. And I'm going to let you know, I actually do both those. And I started doing those before I even found out I had this trait, and it has saved my life. Tuesday is my self-care day. If anybody follows me on Instagram, I talk about it all the time. I go to yoga. I go to a second yoga class, usually yin. I get massages 2 to 3 times a month. I take care of myself, and it really balances me out because I have an anxious personality. So let me talk about the best part. This is my favorite part. There are benefits to this. You are a very empathetic and compassionate person if you're an HSP. That's awesome, isn't it? You love to solve problems. That's something that really, and it depends on your sensitivities and what inspires you, but you love to solve problems. And given the right environment, especially at work, we're very conscientious and hard workers, so employers love us. And so usually we're the people to go to come up with solutions. We also love to create, and that's what inspired me. Inspired me to find this, how I stumbled upon this. I was researching creative people, specifically musicians. They have a high rate of anxiety disorders. And I discovered that creative people in general have high anxiety disorders. And it's most likely because they may be HSP and they don't even know it. But it makes sense. You love art, you love music, you love nature, you love creation. You see the world through the subtleties. You see the world on a deeper scale. You don't want surface information. You want information that's from the heart, from the depths. And another benefit, fine motor skills. So you put all that together, imagine, it makes sense. For me, I've got 3 sensitivities: my visual, my hearing, and my touch. I'll talk about the last 2. Let's start with touch. I can't draw. That's not my fine motor skill, but my fine motor skill is palpation. It came to me late in life, but I have this intuitive energy sensing thing that when I touch a client, I can kind of sense what's going on, and I know the right type of modality to work with them. But my touch sensitivity is I can't have things, I can't wear jewelry. You never see me in jewelry. I can't wear stuff around my neck, and I can't wear flip-flops. Those things in between my toes drive me bonkers. Never. Turtlenecks? No, can't do it. But palpation skills, gift, superpower. My hearing is my biggest sensitivity. I have acute hearing in addition to the sensitivity, and it's been a bothersome most of my life. I have real issues with focusing because I hear everything. I pick up on everything. And actually, I had real difficulty in school as a child because of it, and I thought I had a learning disability. When I got older, I thought it was ADD because I have problems focusing. And that's actually a big misconception with HSPs, is they're misdiagnosed with ADHD when really it's their sensitivities making them having problems with their focus. So I think that's a really interesting aspect that I discovered about myself. However, and let me talk about my my number one self-care, and anybody can do this, especially if they have hearing sensitivities. At least for me, this is what works. My number one therapeutic self-care tool that I use is music. I listen to music every day. It is what calms me the most. It's what relaxes me the most. I cannot carry a tune. I can't play an instrument. I can't sing. I can't hold a rhythm. But listening to music, oh my God, it is the best thing on the planet. So I thank you, everyone who creates music. Thank you very much. So this is why I wanted to do this video. I thought this was a really interesting topic. 20%, remember, has this trait. So if you think this sounds like you, I encourage you to take the self-test. If you think this sounds like somebody you know, maybe share this video with them, and then contact me regarding any self-care lessons, or if you have any questions. I'm here to help. This is what I love to do. I love helping people. So thank you for letting me get a little long-winded. I promise my videos from now on will be a little bit shorter. And I am glad everybody was here to witness the fact of announcing that I'm an HSP, and namaste.